Hey everyone, welcome to Thrift Tours or Thrift Stores on Tour. I'm not too sure what I want to call it yet, but it's going to be a new series where I go to thrift stores and find stuff that I think is cool. And having the opportunity to go out on the road with my band Heel Turn is going to be pretty cool because I can see some awesome thrift stores out around the country wherever I end up. So that's going to be awesome in the future, so I'm excited about that. But I hope you guys enjoy, and let me know what you think. So the first place I went to was this awesome Thrift Mart right next to a closed down trampoline park called Shakalaka. I've never been, but I've heard it's a lot of fun. So the first thing we find all the way in the back of the Thrift Mart is this Percussion Plus snare drum. Percussion Plus was founded in 1987, so this snare drum could be from then or the early 90s. It's really hard to tell, but judging from all the wear and tear on the snare drum, it looks like it could very well be from back then. And then right behind it was a full kit with some pearl shells in there as well. I think the rest of the kit was Percussion Plus. But seeing this in a thrift store is something I don't see all the time, so this is pretty awesome. And right next to that was a Bosch & Lomb Balomatic 705. Bosch & Lomb was founded in the late 1800s as a distributor for numerous eye care products, but in around 1913 they started manufacturing projectors. I have a feeling this model could be anywhere from the late 1940s to the early 70s, so I don't really know, but if you do know, let me know. And over next to that were some CDs. They had a nice little selection, nothing really of note. If you like High School Musical, maybe that was there. But I did find something right here. This album, Dino. The album is called Swinging, and the track listing is just great. Look at this song. Track 6, Tongue Kiss. Tell me you wouldn't want to hear that. And by the way, the music you hear right now in the background is this song. And over behind the books and the CDs and video games, we have the electronics aisle. One of my favorite aisles in any thrift store. A lot of stuff you can find, like this Chrysler tape deck AM/FM radio receiver for a Chrysler car. This just brings back a lot of memories. My dad had an old Buick, so this kind of has that same feel to it. I thought it looked pretty cool. And right under all of that was another projector here in the same Thrift Mart, the Tower Model P911 Super 8mm movie projector. This was another awesome find. I couldn't find any details about it. When you search in Tower and the numbers 9 and 11, you get stuff that's definitely not related to this kind of product right there. And the next stop was a Goodwill. This one isn't too far from me, so this is going to be a frequent stop within the series. It looks like a pretty old Goodwill. You know, it didn't have a lot of stuff here for electronics or media or anything. So I finally made my way over to the CDs, and it had a pretty decent selection. Some 8-tracks were in there as well, but I wasn't too interested in those. Right off the bat, the first CD I found was Sufjan Stevens' Carrie and Lowell. Sufjan is such a beautiful artist, so I had to pick this up. It's awesome that I found this as the first thing, and this thing came from the Mobile Library, which is really far from me. Chumbawamba, you just have to get that anytime you see it. Tub Thumping is just a freaking anthem. And right next to Chumbawamba was No Doubt's Tragic Kingdom, one of my personal favorite albums from them, and it just sucks because someone stole the CD out of here, which just really makes me mad. I mean, come on. The CD was like 50 cents. You could have just bought it. So I had to check all my other CDs to just make sure they were in there, and luckily they were, so that's a good thing. And right above the CDs were the movies in VHS format. The selection here was actually pretty decent. I found Home Alone, one of my favorite movies, that was right next to Scarface, so I thought that was pretty funny, but Home Alone raised me. The first movie and the second movie I had a ton of fun watching, and I definitely will watch that a lot more. And towards the back of the bin here was Drumline on VHS. This movie holds a special place in my heart for some reason, so it's just definitely an instant get for me. And here's a Goofy movie, a childhood favorite of mine, so I just had to get this one as well. There were just so many tapes here, and I can't wait to come back and look at them all. And the next stop was a Salvation Army family thrift store. This spot had a lot of VHS tapes to offer, and I didn't even get a chance to look at them all, so I'll definitely be back soon. And oh my god, it's the Backstreet Boys VHS from a promotion they did with Burger King in 2001. It's got tons of backstage and live footage from their Into the Millennium tour, and seeing this out in the wild really made me feel good inside. And if you wanted to know, Nick Carter was and is my favorite Backstreet Boy. This is probably one of the most 90s things I've ever seen. This is Hanna-Barbera's Rappin' and Rhymin', and it's got Fred Flintstone and Yogi Bear on the front, and it looks like it was an educational tape to kind of get you on your feet and learning stuff, along with the animations from Yogi Bear and Fred Flintstone. So I thought that was pretty funny. I didn't pick it up, but I really should have. And this is Mr. Nice Guy featuring Jackie Chan. I am just a huge sucker for Jackie Chan movies, so I have to get it anytime I see it. So if you have any Jackie Chan movies, please send them to me. I would greatly appreciate it. And oh my gosh, another Backstreet Boys tape. Apparently somebody doesn't like the Backstreet Boys anymore, but that's totally okay because I am definitely going to take this one as well. And right behind the wall of VHS is a table of electronics. An assortment of keyboards, cables, remotes, telephones, hard drives, anything. There's nothing really here that caught my eye, but I looked around a little longer to hopefully find something, but maybe if I come back I'll find something cool. But for now, I'll just move on from it. And we have made it to the final stop of the first episode of Thrift Tours or Thrift Stores on Tour. I don't really know what I want to call it yet, but if you have any ideas, let me know. I'd love to hear from you. So we made our way to another Salvation Army, not too far from the last one we were at. And it was really big and had a nice selection of DVDs, video games, PC games, anything, you name it. It was all there on this wall. And to the left of the video games was the DVD shelf. We've got Incubus Volume 2 right here, which has music videos and behind the scenes footage from the band. And then the last thing I grabbed was the Andy Milonakis Show on DVD, Season 1. Had to get. It's freaking hilarious. And that's it for the first episode of Thrift Tours or Thrift Stores on Tour. Still undecided on what to call it. But if you do have any name ideas, please let me know. I'd love to hear from you. And I just want to say thank you guys for checking it out if you did make it this far. I've always wanted to make these kind of videos because I've been really inspired by some YouTubers, namely LGR and most recently Brutalmoose. They both make these kinds of videos and I just love watching them, so I decided to try to make my own and see what I can find and see what I could do with it. So seriously, thank you guys for checking this out. I really hope to make more. And it was a lot of fun and kind of scary to do at the same time. So I'll see you on the next episode. Thank you guys so much, and I'll see you later.